I found an amazing tool that is literally Webflow for Next.js and Tailwind. If you're a designer, I think this entire stream is going to be the stream you want to tune into today. I have with me the founder of Reweb, Mattia, who comes to us live, and we're going to be doing a live demonstration of his app called it's called Reweb. And so Reweb will basically allow us to take these designs and output them as code with Next.js and Tailwind. And what's amazing is if you're a developer who's already developing with Next.js and Tailwind, and you're always curious about design or seeing something a little bit more visually, this can also be for you as well. So if you're a designer, if you're a developer, this is kind of the blend of the world. And to me, it feels like Framer and Webflow had a baby. The biggest problem right now in the space is the fact that once you make an app using Framer or Webflow, you can't get the code out. And that's like the biggest problem. You want to deploy to your own instances. And so I'm really excited to have Mattia here today for us to do this demonstration here live as we take a look at things. So welcome, Mattia.
Hey everyone, thank you Ray for inviting me. It's super excited, to share around how Reweb works, like what we're cooking. Like we've been building this for like 4 months now, and like just really excited to show everyone what we got. So yeah, thanks for having me.
Cool, man. Yeah, so what we have here on the screen is basically your app totally loaded up and going. And so it would be kind of cool to just walk us through a little bit of what you're working on, and then maybe see if we can have a little design challenge or something, kind of add some features or do whatever we want, and kind of walk us through, some of this app here. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, as like you introduced, like Reweb is basically like a website builder. You can think of Webflow or Framer only. It's built for Next.js, Tailwind, Shotzi UI. There's all those like technologies that like developers are using now are really hot in the front end space, and like are kind of becoming a good standard stack to go with. So yeah, like the idea of Reweb is just to be based on those technologies, but allow you to build in a more visual way, like you were using like a low-code tool, and then actually export that to code, so you can just customize it, host it wherever you want, and keep building. So yeah, like if you have used similar tools before, probably the interface looks pretty familiar to you. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel there. We want to build something that is kind of feels similar, right? So in the middle, we just have our canvas. This is literally like the preview of the website that we're building. We can like over elements. We can drag and drop around, and on the left we just see like literally like the layers tree. This is honestly like just HTML and Tailwind and HTML and React components. Basically, they show the structure of our website. For example, we can see, oh, this is like an H1, this is a paragraph, this is a button, etc. And on the right, we have like the theme panel. So this is where we can just customize the colors of our application and like other things like fonts, etc. So like I can just go and change font and say like I want general sans instead. I want brief logic grotesque instead. And like the whole idea is to have like an immediate feedback of what you're doing. Like I want to
Hold
change
up, hold up, hold up.
my color.
So like the fonts are my biggest problem right now. When I select fonts, like, just seeing it across the thing, it's like, what font do I select? And especially in code. So it's literally just the drop down there and you just see it refresh right there in the page perfectly.
Yeah, right. It's always like going back between the code editor and like the browser. Like, let's try this font instead, and like then change code and like go back. So yeah, I
Yes.
think with fonts, but like with other things as well, like the feedback loop when you code sometimes is like very slow. So where a visual tool I think is really cool is like to have just a faster feedback loop. It's like, okay, I do this, what do I get now? And like it just helps you to iterate faster.
That's so nice. Wow. Wow. This is cool. Yeah, keep going. This is awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, like this is basically like a Shotzi UI team for those who are familiar, but like just generally like a pretty start and color team. We know primary colors, secondary colors, and we just can go here and tweak things around. Like right now, I'm starting from a template. This is like template built on Magic UI, and but we can just go and make it our own. Like I don't know, I want like the button to be more like a purple color or something like that, I can go do it. And then the text inside the buttons can be white, and like, as quickly as that, we can like just like play around with it, and just think like how how this would be making it with code, like going just from this color and dragging it all the way to find what I like. In code, it will be like
Oh
I found myself
my
in my head,
gosh.
like,
Oh,
oh,
wait, and you have the
let's try
droplet there
to.
too, so you can just do the little droplet to sample colors from like different parts of your web app, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Also that maybe we just want the
The
same color.
eyedropper.
It's
Wow.
but yeah, like this is like literally like impossible in code. So that's why I think some like visual tools that like are still built to give you code in the end, because that's what you're gonna ship, right? That's why I think they're powerful. Like they just like let you interact with your idea, with your creation, like in a more direct way. Um, so yeah, and it just keep going. Like there is a like Reweb is basically built on Tailwind. So if you're familiar with Tailwind, it's going to feel like very familiar to use Reweb as well. And if you're learning Tailwind, if you're new to it, I think it's also like pretty cool to learn it. Like I with users who are like actually like not super efficient with Tailwind, but like they find it like also useful to learn more about the classes and everything, because again, like the feedback loop is kind of faster. Right now, I don't know, I want to make this text bigger, right? Maybe here I see that I have some text classes, and if I go remove them, I see immediately what happens. And I'm like, oh no, I want like to try to make 5 Excel. They just like 5 Excel, probably like it's gonna, and you see immediately what happens on the canvas. That's the kind of the whole idea.
Yeah, I think my connection was dropping a little bit, but for those who are just kind of going through that connection drop, is the fact that you can interact with Tailwind directly from the actual app on the side with those classes. So if you were trying to learn, especially for me, I'm actually learning Tailwind. I'm learning front end web design and everything. The whole reason why I moved to Next.js is so that I can actually have more powerful UI driving a lot of my back end like logic and thinking. And so here I'm seeing Tailwind. I'm like, what the heck are all these things? And applying these to the divs, I could just simply point and click to a text, see what classes are applied, experiment and play around. And especially if I'm
Yeah,
looking up any
exactly.
guides for Tailwind, I'm able to kind of better bring that in. That's really cool. That's awesome. Wow. I think the video's
But
probably
this
frozen on
might.
my end a little bit, but it's okay.
Oh, am I good now?
Yeah, you're
Like,
good now. Yeah, you're good now. Yeah.
yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I was just saying that like right now, if for someone who's not like super familiar with Tailwind, like it might be like a little bit intimidating to have all these, classes here. Like, oh my gosh, what do they mean? Like, we're kind of working on making this UX of using Tailwind like a lot nicer. That kind of gives you hints on like what classes to use, and also want to actually build like kind of another interface for styling things, for styling elements that is more Framer, like similar to Framer, but behind the scenes already uses Tailwind. So if you're like a designer, more like a low code person, like you can use that. Or if you want to do plain or learn Tailwind, you can use that as well.
That's awesome. So we have some questions from the audience here. Mike Sachs is asking, do you start from templates? Can you do an image to code to get started?
So we do have some templates. It's a few of them right now. We're like working on just like adding a lot of more of them, because obviously like when it comes to design, most times you want to do like a lot of times you want to start from a template. So and on
Hmm.
the image to code, uh, not right now. Like but not inside Reweb. But what we're doing right now is actually like uh, we made it in a way so that you can make Reweb work with V0. Um, so basically, V0, for those who don't know, is like, but probably everyone does, is this tool that helps you generate UI with AI, and like it can also generate it from an image. And where V0 is really good is like to give you a starting point that you can then go and customize yourself, right? But at some point, you just need to keep prompting to make customizations, and it gets kind of tedious. So what we're doing is like we made it possible to generate like your starting point with V0, potentially with an image, and then just import the code over to Reweb and be able to customize it inside Reweb editor in this visual way. So in that way you can do it. So yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. For those who are just following along, we had some connection issues earlier, so now we're pretty good. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and move into the next thing here that you were talking about. We're messing with border radius and colors and stuff, and what I think would be really insightful to kind of see how you do like a design process, whether you take an existing template or you have maybe even your own website, how you would modify it or something here. Just take us through, because I feel like there's a lot of value right now in kind of watching the way other people do design. I like to learn like by watching a lot of YouTube videos and watching people do stuff and say, oh, this is how they drag the thing. So maybe kind of doing a little bit of a cooking session here. So I'll let you cook and do some
That's
stuff.
good.
And yeah, you can explain it out loud. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay, yeah. I mean, I think we can start from this template that I already have right here, but try to make it kind of more custom, like making it our own, right? So the way I will go about it is like force to kind of get the theme done, at least get the vibe of the colors. So for example, we want to make something like more. I love always purple like vibes, dark mode purple sides. I know they're like very trendy, I guess, but I found those really cool. So we can go and do that. So right now we have like this kind of orange accent for gradients, etc. So we can just like grab it here and customize it. So maybe we can, yeah, like make something
Wow.
like more like this, and
Nice.
it's already like getting like a completely different vibe. And for
Wow.
primary color, like something like this, and the background, I feel it can be like a little bit lighter, just a little bit. And we have this. By the way, we can zoom in the canvas like using command that's scrolling like on Figma. And for example, like this guy is like secondary. So like we see like if we move around that
Wow.
changes, but I think we can keep it something like this. And yeah, I don't think I want like any border on things. So for the border, we can just like actually use the same color, so it will be visibly more
Oh,
without any border. And yeah, we're giving like this, yeah, dark more purple vibe that I
I
really
like
like.
that.
And for
Wow.
fonts, I really like this one that we use on our website as well, called Instrument Sounds. Yeah, I think we can go with that.
That's really good looking.
So yeah, maybe let's zoom out and see. Here we have like a whole landing page. This is the template that we started from, but we can also add more sections. Like for example, we provide a list of pre-made sections for landing pages and even for other pages soon, that we can just go and get like into the editor. For example, we probably want some testimonials, so we can just select this testimonials section, and we have like a lot more that we can explore later. But for now, let's just add the testimonials, and we can see it down here. So I'm gonna drag it to the top. So on here on the left on the layers panel, we can just drag things around. So maybe I can put it like above the pricing, and now we see it here. And I'm realizing now we probably need like a different color for the cards. So there is another theme color for that, could just called card, and we can just like make it like the background, but a bit lighter here as well. Actually, this can probably be the same as the secondary color, I think. So let's just copy paste it and see what it looks like. And
Ooh, wow.
I think this is pretty good. And generally, I also think I want to do more rounded. I really like rounded buttons as well. So we can just make it more rounded here as well.
Yo, that's awesome.
And
Big shout
yeah,
outs
this is
to
like,
Hertzfield Labs. He says, Yo, Ray and Mattia, you guys are fire. Let's go. I love the comments coming in.
yeah, but it's pretty crazy, like how just with a few tweaks
Yes.
you can just take something and make it look completely different. Like
Yes.
we could take this now and like change the look again to make it feel like completely different again, right? And
I think we should do
but
that.
this is all.
Mike Sachs is actually asking, what about adding email forms, videos, and other elements? Then how do you hook them up functionally? So maybe kind of going into, how this is like a design
Yeah.
tool. And then like, I think other people can be curious about that.
Yeah, so this is basically how a Reweb works. It's not built to like do everything inside the Reweb. It's built to get the design done, and the beauty thing of it is that you can actually get the code and go do those things that are like much easier to do in code than in a low code tool. Like I'm personally like not the biggest fan of like hooking up logic API calls and things like that in a low code tool or like in a no code tool, because I think code is actually just perfect for that, right? While visual tools are really good for design. And so, like the workflow here that I use and like I recommend people that want to check out Reweb to use to think more like a Figma that gives you code. So like you can use it to
Mm.
design your landing page or your page or whatever. Then I show you how you can get the code, and then in the code you can go and add those dynamic functionality like an email or yeah, or your backend or like anything really. So yeah,
Yeah,
and the other
that's,
question I think was videos.
mhm.
Yeah, videos are we're not supporting videos yet, but like we'll have them soon basically.
Yeah, it may not be there, but Magic UI, the components that you also use and play very well with on his website, like magicui.design. If you go check out some of those, once you get your stuff into Cursor, you should be able to like run an npx command to actually install those components into a section. So yeah, probably a little bit more, a little bit different for the stream. So SCI site, I think says, not sure if it exists already, but would love to have a reusable template where we can showcase a mobile app, screenshots, features, reviews, etc.
So it's asking for a template for a mobile app. We
Hmm.
don't have that yet. Like we have like just a few templates honestly.
Yes.
We definitely like add more. Actually, what we probably are gonna do is just like to kind of like just like an open marketplace sort of where like people can just post their templates and people can
Oh,
fork
that'd be
them and start
fire.
from there. I think
Wow.
Framer or something like that is really cool. People even sell them there, but like we also want to make sure that there's enough free templates for people to get started without necessarily having to pay. But like yeah, so we kind of hope to get a community involved into to building those, right?
Yeah, I guess we should also kind of talk a little bit about the tool that we're seeing here today, ladies and gentlemen. This tool was literally made like 3, 4 months ago, like as an idea to get something down. And so this is like super early. And part of the magic of why I like to do these types of showcases is because I'm seeing some stuff out there that I think is going to be on this like wave. There's literally a wave coming in and a huge tidal wave of AI coming behind it. And these tools are on the cusp of being kind of like getting brought up into this big tsunami wave that's coming in that's going to hit us that we don't even know yet. And I feel like just seeing this and seeing the response on X has just been mind blowing. And I feel like this is such a perfect time to bridge these gaps of code designers, people who are working in these platforms like Webflow, but can't get their code out because they know they can use Cursor to do more cool stuff, like hooking it up to a backend, like doing these extra things that you can do in code. So you have the design, now you want to make it do cool stuff. And so this is like the first part of that. And I'm just excited to have you here. And I think it's really important to not only try out this tool, but give the feedback to Mattia directly. So, I mean, just having you featured here, getting you on the show so that people can actually reach out and start using these things. I think there's a lot of demand, and just kind of wanted to give everyone a heads up as well. Like, yeah, this is just literally like sort of like not even like beyond an idea now. It's like actually becoming a thing and people are using it. And like you're designing pages with it and stuff. So yeah, it'd be kind of fun to kind of play around a little bit more here.
Yeah. But like you said, like any feedback is super welcome. Like it's only been 4 months. 4 months is like a lot happened in the last 4 months, but like overall it's like not much time. So this tool is like really like we know it is with the design, right? So okay, so what we can do now is we have like this testimonials page. By the way, I didn't show it yet. Like we can just edit text of course. So this can be, our customer loves typical testimonial section headline. And we can maybe customize this template a little bit. So the idea is like, I want to show you how, yes, we start from a template, but we can go and make it our own, right? So, for example, we can delete this if we don't want it. We can change just this to simple pricing, and make it font semi-bold. So here we're like getting into some Tailwind to just like get the styling that we want. Also, this I think should be smaller. Like shouldn't take like the whole width. So we can just give a max width, max W in Tailwind, and we can say something like try Excel, and well, we need to make this like with like margin auto that makes it centered. And we can use classes from the theme. So like if we look at the theme again, there's this color called muted foreground. We can actually also go here and see what is this used for. So this is like secondary text. So this is not using it yet, but we can just say text muted foreground, and like we're going to use the secondary text color for this text, which is actually secondary. So, and let's zoom in a little bit. I kind of want more space here. So instead of margin 6, we can say my my 10. And yep, this pricing cards, I think the title can be a bit bigger. So we can say text uh, 2XL, and some margin on the bottom. And we can use the heading font. So font heading is a class that just will apply this font. As we see that we have two fonts. Uh, one is made for the main headings, and one is for like the rest. They can also be the same, but like font usually is a pattern on landing pages to sometimes use two fonts. So we can do that. And I also think we should have more padding here, so we can just say P6, and this is gonna make them kind of give a little bit more space. And like, I think this green is also like you can't really see the white that much. So why instead we just use our primary color? So like BG primary is like our
Wow.
primary team color.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's like getting another look slowly, and we can really go on as much as we want. Like literally, like everything you can do in Tailwind, you can do it here. But yeah, I think
Wow.
actually also this pricing, I always like to put like heading as well, like just the heading font for like big things, like big text. It just looks nicer often. This text to kind of have more contrast. I always like to put like descriptions and things like with the secondary text color to just give more emphasis to the more important stuff. And yeah, slowly, piece by piece, I think is be more balanced. I think, and at least I like it.
Yo, that's pretty
um,
awesome. I mean, my guy is cooking super fast right now as we see kind of everything kind of flying in. Big shout outs to the people who are on X. I think there's some issues with the connection there, but for those who are just coming into YouTube now, we're streaming this in 4K, which is amazing. The reason why I've kind of trying to figure this out earlier with 4K is that we can see these little pixel perfect details if you have a good internet connection. So I'm pretty excited about that. And I think the connection on X is trying to get back up, and I'm telling people that. So just FYI. But yeah, no, this is amazing. We're basically watching, for those who are just joining in, we're watching Mattia, who's the founder of Reweb. So if you think about Webflow, this is basically Next.js and Tailwind, for like Webflow. So you can have your designs in here, and then you should be able to export them out, and just you have a Next.js app with Tailwind, and then you can continue your code, hook up your backend, and do all those different pieces that you want to do. I think Mike Sachs was asking another question here, saying, "Can you save elements you make as a modular section, and you can add to other templates you build and stuff?"
yeah. So yes, but you have to wait 1 week because we are actually working on that feature right now. So right now you can like kind of copy paste. So you can just like copy paste elements around, but like creating your reusable components is obviously like very important. And yeah, we're working on that like later, like in these days. So hopefully, like in the next few days, it'll be possible to just like say, like very similar to how Framer works. I think they do it very well. You just like get something, do right click and say make component, and then you can like reuse it like everywhere and customize it like with like props basically, like
Oh,
on
that's cool.
React.
Ah, okay, okay, okay. That's cool, man. That's awesome. Wow, wow, wow. Cool. And what else should we take a look at here?
Yeah. So all right, maybe we can. I don't know if you want to like first finish to kind of build it, or like start having a look at like how exporting the code will look like. That's also a way what we can do.
Yeah, let's take a look at the export feature because that'd be kind of interesting to see for people to see. Okay, so you have this design. This is what we started so far. Let's just take a look and just see how it runs on code. Maybe also, I think there's a feature that I saw you can play around with mobile and tablet view as well right now, just like as it is, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So we can, yeah, look like how is a mobile actually. For example, this is like huge. So what we can do is things. Let's say text like 5, and from the small breakpoint it will be 7. Like this is like just tailwind stuff, and yeah, we can preview it like
Wow,
on
that's
more
hot.
devices. And but yeah, like so for the export, there are actually different ways to go about it. Like the first way is to just say I'm starting from zero, so I want to export like a whole app. So this is like the first way to do it. Like we can click on export code on the right, click export here, and this is basically just like gonna download a zip file that should show up in my download folders. I think it's this one, and we can just like unzip it, and I can open it like in cursor. Let me know if like you see it
Yeah, that's
well.
perfect.
Should
Yes.
make it
Yeah.
bigger.
Perfect. Yeah.
And this is just like a standard Next.js application. We have like a page, we have components
Wow.
for each page. So this is like our hero section. Now it's all red because I need to npm install. So pm install. But yeah, it's like it should be like pretty familiar uh, to most like React and Tailwind developers. It's not like anything crazy that like you can't maintain, because that's actually like a big problem. Like I did try some no code tools that like
I think I
give you
lost. Okay.
code
Yeah. Yeah.
like
Good.
completely unusable.
Ah. Okay. Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, it kind of cut out. Says you said you previously tried some no code tools and it just kind of cut out.
Oh yeah, yeah. Basically, there are no code tools out there that give you code that allow you to export code, but like they just give you like something like kind of unusable. It's like all if you know what CSS is, kind of everything in like position absolute. It's like really not maintainable.
Oh,
And
I
I
see.
think
I see.
where Tailwind actually makes it like a lot more easy to produce nice exported code, because it's just like applying classes. Like so, it's like. It was like really like the perfect technology to make this tool, and like it's also obviously like the technology that we love. So
That
but yeah,
makes
we can
sense.
just run this.
Yeah. While we run that,
And
Hamza asks, how does this differ from V0?
okay, yeah, so V0 is basically an AI assistant for web development, and like but one specific feature like that like got them popular is generating UI. So with V0 you work with like in a chat based interface. So you just ask a generate me a hero section for my landing, and we'll give you the code. So they're actually like different, and like but the cool thing is that they can work together. Maybe we can show that too. So the zero is really good at generating like a solid starting point for your UI, like generating like a hero section that is good enough to go and customize yourself. But where I personally think is like it starts to get like harder to use is like to really
I think you're stalling out, but yeah,
you get
it's okay. You said
okay,
where it gets harder to use is kind of where I think testing one, two. Oh,
prompt good for
It's possible that the connection's a little bit unstable, either on my end or your end or something. Yeah, it's possible. Let me see if I can close some of these streaming windows and stuff. But I just kind of, I guess while I'm still live and things are still working on my end, I'm just going to pause these things here, so that way people can kind of still see. It looks like that your window's frozen, and now you've just came back. Yeah, you're good now. Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, you're good. Yeah, everything's good now. So we're basically asking about difference between V0 and like this, and it's like V0 is basically just generative, fairly chat based. So that's where you kind of get started on that end. And then if you're using a tool like this is kind of where you can take the stuff in the output from like V0 and put it into put those components into like this type of thing here. Yeah, you're still live, by the way. I can hear you and you're there.
Seems good on my end.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna pull this back up. So yeah, you're good. Yeah.
Let me see.
It may seem frozen there, but you're back up now. I actually can see it. So yeah, your screen's up. So whatever you're sharing on your screen, I can put it back, or let me know when you're ready, and then I can share your screen back if you want. So yeah, that way it's like, so you're probably messaging me saying, hey, what's going on? Is everything cool? Yeah, everything's cool. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Damn, I'm not even sure if you guys are still hearing me, because I don't know where the chat is.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, you're totally good. So
comments.
Yeah, so it's okay.
Okay, can someone tell in the chat if like you guys are hearing me? I literally have no clue who I'm talking to.
Yeah, can you hear me at all? I don't think you can hear me, huh? Oh, that's interesting. Oh man, it's okay. I think what we can try to do is try to see if I can have you disconnect and reconnect again. Can you disconnect and reconnect again? So this is the joy of live streaming. It's like he doesn't hear me. It should pop back in. Yeah. So I'm going to see if I can have him disconnect and come back again. So that way, we can retry the connection again. So luckily I'm still live and everything's still good. And it's kind of fun. This is literally a live stream, and this is all kind of us figuring it out at the same time. Yo. Hey, what's up, man? How's it going? Are you there? You hear me? Okay.
Okay.
We're good.
I can hear you now.
Yeah. Cool. And if you do share screen again, then I can get that back up into the other thing. But right now it's just the two of us on the display. Perfect. Cool. So yeah, and then when we're ready, I can pop over to the next thing. So yeah, it's basically just continuing off like we were doing before. I think here we go. Cool. Yes. Awesome.
Okay. I had a moment where like I couldn't hear you. I couldn't see the chat because I didn't find it. I literally had no clue who I was talking to. But
Yo, big shout outs to this other dude. It says Matacek. He says Nokia webcam. Let's go. Yes, that's right. For those who aren't familiar, old school tech. We hear you. We're all good. So yeah. Also Mike Sachs, big shout out to sending big fiber energy to Ray and Mattia. Yeah, I think that actually worked. So the big fiber, we're rolling right now. So continuing on, we're kind of, for those who are just tuning in and staying with us through these technical difficulties, we're exploring this tool from Mattia that he literally invented like 4 months ago with another co-founder. And as a tool to tackle like Webflow, but just for like Next.js and Tailwind. So the problem is when you use when you use other apps like Framer or Webflow, you're locked into their platform. You can't take the code out. You can't add backends and do all really cool stuff. You could, but it takes a lot of work. But if you're a Next.js developer into Tailwind, like this is kind of starting out from the design sense, doing that type of things. There's a lot of other features that Mattia may talk about today that will allow you to bring code in. And right now we're taking a look at the code export part. So we have a design that we were kind of playing around with, and now we're trying to see if we can export it out from the app, and then see if we can actually, kind of get it going as well. So what is interesting about this app, from what I've been seeing you cook, which is amazing, it's just like how you manipulate the Tailwind classes and kind of where you go. And I feel like I just got a lot of value watching you just go through a design, an existing template there, and then kind of iterate. And so there are existing templates for you to use on this app as well. So if you are going to go to Reweb, so I think your website is reweb.so. Yeah, reweb.so. And here's a site, right? It's already up. This is the site that you're designing with it earlier. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, basically, so yeah, this is just like Next.js and Tailwind app. So like something that we can, we have the full code of this, like, so we can go and change it. We can go and add more code for maybe dynamic logic, make it total backend and everything. But yeah, like the idea is like we can export the whole app and it will look exactly like what we did in the editor, because the editor itself is kind of built on the same text. So it's like there's no way it can go wrong and like do something then it looks different. It's like really like it's really the same thing that you're saying right there. So yeah, so
That's beautiful. Yeah, I think it'd be kind of fun if you go back to Reweb. Mike Sachs had a question about adding like sections, because I remember you can add like a section and you can select from predefined templates and stuff. And so, yeah, this is where you can add these predefined sections you already designed. And then, so this is Reweb selections at the top, and then you also have Magic UI selections as well, right?
yep, exactly. So yeah, we have some predefined sections, and then we also partner with Magic UI to like we're adding some of them and like more of them coming as well. But yeah, like this is just like things that you can add for like in one click to your app. Like I just added like this FAQ, and then we can customize them too. But it provides you like the starting point to build. And yes, I think the other thing to show you. So right now I showed how to export a whole application and basically start from scratch, right? But there's actually other ways to do it. So we can just actually go. So because sometimes you have existing project, you have an existing code base, and you don't always need to start from scratch. So what we can do is just like select a section, and there are two ways. Either you can go here and click see code, or just right click and see the code. And here we just like basically see the code of this single section, and we can just copy paste it into our app, and this will tell us like all the files that we need to touch. For example, this is the Tailwind config. We also want to use the theme, and this relies on the button shadcn components and etc. And we can actually also just like edit this code if we wanted. Like if we just sometimes things are just faster to do in code. Maybe you already have existing code snippets like for that, and like you can just paste it here and edit this code. And the last way to like import components, like or more like export components into your code base, is to use actually the shadcn CLI. So shadcn built this CLI, which is actually like generalizable. Like it doesn't work only for shadcn UI components, but you can make it work with like sort of any component like respects this schema that the CLI works with. So we did this integration where you can select the section again, right click and do add to code base, and this is a command that you can just copy paste into your terminal, and it will add the section for you. So actually, this is a perfect example because I just added this FAQ component that we don't have in our landing page. So we're like, oh, like I don't want to export the whole thing again. I can just do like I just copy paste the command for the FAQ section.
Whoa, no way, bro. That's so sick.
Wait,
Oh, you're looking for the code, yeah.
of course, we open a new terminal. We'll paste it,
Yo, this
and
is crazy. Yes.
this
No way.
downloads the
So
code.
you can just keep making changes and add the components back and forth as you work on stuff. Let's go.
Yeah, here we have like our FAQ. We need to just go here and like
Yeah, just add it back
already
in.
know what we want to do. And if we go back to we have like our FAQ right here.
That's from the local host. Oh my God, bro. Stop. Stop it. You're this is crazy. So it's the full, almost like the full life cycle. I feel like that's where V0 was trying to go with this. I mean, that's what they've enabled for you guys to just take this and kind of run to the next level. Because that's the other part of it. It's like, do I have to rebuild the app? Do I have to kind of shut it down and delete my app and put it back up again, or export the new code base? So you literally just say get that section, add the code base. That's it. No copy and pasting files. It's just done. Styles, everything.
Yeah, because also like a lot of times you just kind of want, you have like existing projects that like you're already working on. You kind of want to work more like in a component kind of focused way, maybe like instead of building like the entire app and then exporting it, maybe just say, okay, I need to add like a new page, or I need to add this new component, and like you can go and like design that component and then just like pull it into your code with like one command. So yeah, that is really cool. Like the CLI is really amazing. Like like shout out to ShadCM for building like such a cool tool that like you can use with like we didn't have to build the CLI, right? We could just like use it and leverage it to make this workflow a lot nicer. So that was really cool.
Wow, that is so amazing. I mean, it's funny. I'm just blown away. But this is kind of where we're at. This is the very beginnings, and like we said, like this tool literally just made 4 months ago. And so, where can people go to kind of go try it out and sign up if they're interested in trying this out?
Yeah, so reweb.so is our website where you can sign up and try it out. We have a Discord that you can find on the website, and maybe like let's just open it right now. But yeah, here if you go on community, you can join our Discord if you want. We use it for support and like we're just trying to get a community going, community of people that are passionate about UI design, front end, and using like visual tools to build it. Yeah, or for anything like reach out on Twitter as well. Like underscore reweb is the account.
That's super cool. And then if they click the roadmap thing, the roadmap will allow you to see and give be feedbacks and bugs and stuff like that. So that way people can like, if you have any features that you want, I would say put it on there. Someone was asking earlier about support for Swift UI. So it's like, probably not for a while, if not ever. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think this is really focused on Next.js and Tailwind, from what I understand. Big shout outs to Mike Sachs with the super chat. Ray is always bringing the fire. Definitely appreciate it, man. Super awesome with the super chat. Yeah, it's so cool. Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is what the community is needed for a little while. It's like, you're not going to be stuck in the framework. You're not going to be stuck into Webflow. You're taking the code, you're getting it out, and then you're going to get into Next.js to Tailwind. And just this thing that you just did, adding a section, exporting it out using ShadCN, putting it into your app already, in the existing app, export it out as a component block. Like, this is beautiful to see. I'm just so delighted that I was able to even find like this app and stuff. Like, it's funny because people, just like Mike says, like, hey, do you have an affiliate program? If you don't have one yet set up, I think there's a lot of people who are really excited to talk and share this with their communities. I'm excited. This is not sponsored, by the way. I have zero, I see these tools and I like them, and I feel like, I'm surfing out there with you guys in this wave of AI, and they come to my attention. I was like, this is going to change the world, and we're early. We're so early, like y'all don't even know. So what I highly encourage my audience to do, just like with Mike and a lot of these people who are passionate about these AI tools, is to go out there, go play with them, give feedback. Early feedback is super important, especially if you're an enthusiast in AI. But as you tell your friends, play around, find these edge cases, find the things that you need, and just let Mattia know. And the team, it's not even a team, it's just literally you and another co-founder. It's like, producing this, like, I think this is the world we're headed in, where people who are like, I consider them like next level engineers, or people who are really passionate about solving problems, are making these applications and then sharing them out. And it's just, for me, I feel like just so honored to be able to bring this awareness, because there's a lot of people who follow me in design space and who want to take this to the next level. And I just kind of wanted to ask you, how did this really start? How did you get into this idea of making this app?
Yeah. So all right. So basically, I have my background is more as a developer. I've always been focused on front end, especially like I worked in different startups and worked with designers as well. And I also had like a passion for design myself. So even though I wouldn't call myself a designer, I played a lot with Figma. I'm pretty efficient with Figma. Always done more front end from though, and like I just got very efficient over the years, just building with like Next.js and Tailwind. That's the stack that like I adopted like pretty early, I think. And then I saw, after building a lot of stuff with Next and Tailwind, I saw this new wave of tools like no code tools, right? Like Framer, Webflow, and like a lot of more that like had a really good like promise. So like they can help you build faster. And like I'm a very visual person, and like I love the visual way of building that these tools have. So I was like, wow, this is really cool. But then like I tried some tools like that, and I just felt like like I don't know. I think that they're great for certain kind of people. They're great for maybe non-technical people most times. But when it comes, I felt like kind of constrained as a developer who wants to get the code. So like just having like this lock in that doesn't allow me to get the code
That's right. Yeah, there's a little bit of a
is like,
lock-in when you are using these apps, and that's kind of maybe their purpose. But I feel like in this age of AI and age of coding and age of like, we're independent developers are like, why can't it be this way? And like, let's make it so. And you're trying it out, and it's interesting because even people who are just being aware of this today, Amuril is basically saying, wait, Reweb is free. Wow. It's like, yeah, I just go ahead and sign in and just start playing. And if you want to export the code, I think there's currently, you pay some money to try it out, and you can go ahead and do that and stuff like that. So that's cool. Wow, wow. And so this is kind of how your connection was dropping out earlier. It's kind of, I wanted to chime in there, and everything's good now. And so
uh,
you were running into this problem, and you're just like, let's just make it like this happen, and boom, like in the last 4 months this kind of has come about. And then tell me a little bit the story about, I think you said your girlfriend or your partner was basically developing and trying to learn Tailwind and so forth, and what's their experience been like?
yeah. So it's funny that like actually I'm basically like a Tailwind power user, I think at least. And so we didn't really like think that Reweb was like a tool for people learning Tailwind, right? Or like not familiar with Tailwind, but like actually, yeah, like correct. My girlfriend, like she's a developer as well. She has some, she knows how to do some code, but like she's not very advanced, and like she had never seen Tailwind before. And then like she started playing around with Reweb even in their very early days. And she told me, oh wow, this is actually like helping me learn Tailwind faster because I just drop a class and like I see immediately what it does, right? So it's kind of, it's a faster feedback loop. I think that's the most important like way to think about it. Is just when I'm learning, I want to see immediately like what's the effect of the action that I'm doing, like because and the faster this process is, the faster I will learn. So that's why I think like Reweb is actually turned out to be pretty good for that, because you just see immediately what you do with Tailwind, and it can help you get familiar with all the classes and etc. Yeah.
That's cool. So where is this app going to go in the coming, like very short term, in the next month or so? What are some of the features you're kind of itching to get out right away?
Oh yeah. So first one that we see at the top of the roadmap is what like someone in chat was asking as well, is basically the ability to create custom components that you can reuse across pages or multiple like places in your project. Then definitely like a lot of templates. We want to yeah, just like people can use as starting points to just to iterate on. So that will be very important as well. What else? We're trying to make it like mm, at least this, I'm not sure when this is going to come, but it's something that I'm very excited about, and is having like kind of what we call designer mode. Is like another UI that will allow you to that is going to be more similar to Framer, but behind the scenes is going to use Tailwind as well. So this is going to be for those people who don't know Tailwind, don't necessarily want to learn it. They just want to design and then get the code, because maybe another like developer is going to use the code. So this is going to be more important for teams, I think, where both
Wow.
developers and designers work together, and you
I like
can
that.
kind of bring them together with Reweb.
Whoa. Okay. So the like the designer mode would just be similar to the way someone goes into Figma today to design. They drag, they drop, they do all their things, but then like outside of that, they don't really touch the Tailwind because there's not kind of what their everyday is. But then the developer can go in the same Reweb app and see exactly what we're seeing, like the Tailwind classes, all the stuff applied. Like you're saying, you could even modify the code and change stuff around. Because yeah, anyone who's done any like web, like front end design type of stuff, or even if you've just done design in general at any company, there's a lot of the iteration loop between the designer and the person who's implementing the code. So there's certain things that you can do in code. I think what I like about your app is the fact that you're designing and it's literally being laid out in code. So the designer, while they're designing, will actually kind of lay out the pixels exactly how it is it's going to be in mobile, small, and these things. So it's not like that was like a big problem like in iOS. It's like the design comes in and it's like, oh yeah, you need like every pixel from the edge of the screen is there. And then so you have to figure out how to calculate, okay, if I want this thing to be centered and then there's a new phone screen size that we're working on, then like how does that, is the pixel design going to be okay? Like, is it off by 2 pixels or do we need to make that smaller by 2? It's like you start getting into these crazy things, especially with screen sizes. And so that's sort of the beauty of also Tailwind is that that's kind of baked in. You don't have to worry about like shifting pixels to the right 3 inches or whatever. You just say, I want it like for this screen sizes, XL. It's already sort of predefined. It's very an extendable framework because you can define things in like, CSS, which is sort of like laying out. And you get the beauty of code, but also get like the complexity of that stuff, but you also get the simplicity of design. So I feel like this is a really interesting balance and healthy medium that you're kind of dancing between, right? So you're really trying to bridge those two gaps. And I really do feel like if you're a designer, this is something you want to check out and start playing around with and getting familiar with. This is really, we're so early on this wave that playing around with it, getting feedback. So it's like, yeah, free to try, right? If you want to export the code for your app, there's like a monthly like fee you can pay. But right now you also have a lifetime subscription, right? So, or lifetime one-time
Yeah.
purchase. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, basically how it works is like you can try it out for free. Like you can build, use the whole editor, like basically all the features of the editor and get the design done. And we're charging to like export the code. So there is both monthly, yearly, and like lifetime. So this is like really like based on what people prefer. But yeah, that's like the way it works. And like actually like, so one question that like we get a lot is like, how does the code look like? I mean, in this case I kind of showed it in the live stream, but like we get it like people before paying, they kind of want to see how the code looks like. So we're trying to figure out how to give a preview of that in some sense. And for now, like anyone feel free to like eat me up, like for any questions. I know like that's a big part, like I was telling that right before that like some tools give you code, but it's say shit, right?
Yes,
So
yes. Yeah.
it's important to know that the code is good. So for any questions, like I'm always there.
That's awesome. Mike Sachs says this is a huge unlock for us marketers that are right brainers, visual builders, just JS and Tailwind stuff. So Hertzfeld Labs also says found Reweb a few weeks ago, but the Reweb plus Magic UI bundle. Yeah, definitely get on that bundle because like that Magic Web, Magic UI is really, really cool as a component framework. And like, I just have loved what Dylan was doing over there. It's amazing. They just single people founders and like small teams, like 2-people teams can just bang out so much stuff. And man, like this is a really cool era. And somebody actually said that I should make arrays list of like array directory here of things that I should probably do, of things that I like. Because I feel like, yeah, I mean, you have to know about these things. I mean, like I had the founder of Repo Prompt over like last week or so, and people have been loving that to chat with their code base. I mean, it's so useful. I mean, you cannot believe how people just try to dump their whole code base into like Google Gemini, and that gets complex. But yeah, I don't mean to like veer off too much, but yeah, I have good taste. No, I just like I was just kidding. I think it's really cool to just showcase people like you guys that are doing cool stuff. And we're just at the tip of the iceberg. So if people want to get in contact and play with Reweb, it's spelled there below, REWEB.SO. And so you can go ahead and just start playing with the app. Sign in, free, literally free account. Doesn't require anything you do. You just build as much you want, design as much you want, play with it. You can hit the preview button. You can actually see the code laid out just like it would be on your website. You can share that. I think you could share that link with your friends. It's a public share, right? Like when you hit the preview.
It's actually not right now.
Okay, it's okay. That's fine. Yeah,
but yeah, that's something like that we also like kind of want to do. Like obviously,
yeah, that's fully rendered,
to
like straight up as if the code was, be shipped and stuff like that. And so that's the way that you can play around with the website. And so yeah, that stuff's it's free, so you can get a sense of is this for you? And mind you, this is very early software, and so any feedback you have, definitely join their community. Give that feedback to Mattia and what's your other founder's name?
Nico.
Oh, Nico. Okay, Nico's great. And yeah, so that'd be cool. So Hertzfeld Labs, he's just became a member, so that's so cool, man. That's awesome. That's so cool. Welcome, Hertzfeld Labs. That's so cool. Thank you for becoming a member on the stream. This is so awesome. Cool. Yeah, no, this is great. Yeah, tune in. I like to try to find these pieces of software. If you're working on any AI software stuff or any types of things in this space, yeah, let me know. I always like checking stuff out and playing things around. And if I find that they're pretty good enough value, I'd like to just have you on the show, just like I have Mattia on today. And yeah, no, I think this is a really good starting point for people to get started. And I want to check back in with you maybe in a month or two and see how the future implementation is going. And after all these different users come and sign up, because I feel like this is, like you're saying, it's changing the landscape here. If you're developing with Next.js and Tailwind and you're looking for something that's a little more visual to meet with your designer, I feel like you can just give the designer this tool, like you can put the, and just kind of let them cook, right? So watching just you design, Mattia, maybe we can just do a separate live stream where we just kind of watch you redesign an existing template or get some designs and stuff, or maybe set up like a design challenge where we just kind of watch you just go. Cause like watching you just flow through that thing, I was like, dang, I don't know Tailwind that good. And it's just so cool to watch. I learned a lot just watching from you. So that was really cool.
No, yeah, definitely. Like, we'd love to do some more live streams, like catch up, like in a bit. Like, I'm sure, I hope, like in a few months, like it'll be, like next step. Like, there is like really like so much stuff to build. Like, we're just like two people while we try our best, and like we're just very excited about the things coming up very soon. So yeah, I hope like in a few months it will look like. Like, I hope it'll start to be the tool where like it can be even more helpful to teams like designers and developers to bring them together. So that's eventually where we want to go. We want to like
Beautiful.
it will be always good like if you're like just working solo, but like I think also helping teams that are like have different kind of people working on the design is good because yeah, like connecting to what you were saying before, I like there's always this. I had this issue like in a previous company where I worked, and like I heard it from other people that like the designers are always angry because the developers don't reproduce the design like pixel perfect. The developers
yes.
are angry because the designers make something that sometimes in code is not possible, right? So
I can't tell you how many times I've seen that at like the best companies in the world that especially for design. So those are my own opinions, by the way. It's not actually, Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. Thank you so much. For those who are wanting to check this out, reweb.so is going to be your ticket there to go play around. I'd say just go play for free. Check it out. It's some cool software. And yeah, definitely going to be cooking with this. Thank you so much for joining, Mattia. We're going to have you probably on another stream in a couple weeks from now. And if you're liking this, ladies and gentlemen, share this with a friend. If you know a designer friend, just reach out. Say, hey, check out this cool tool I just heard of. I heard from Ray Fernando's got some cool stuff. Share the channel. We definitely appreciate that. Share this video with your circle of friends who may enjoy it, whether the developers, whether they're working on design, or even just tinkering. If you're just learning Tailwind CSS, hello, like play around, see what an existing good template is. There's a lot of really good templates. You can do that for free. That's amazing. I mean, the fact that you just let people log in and play around for free. I would just use it. I'm actually going to use that just to learn. So this is so cool. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you also everyone for joining in on the stream. Huge shout out to Hertzfeld's Lab, who just became a member. I just enabled membership today. So what's really cool is that you can become a member for what I call Let Me Cook. and it's a little fire emoji. And so you're becoming one of my members of, and so by joining as a member, you'll get a shout out, obviously, and we can cook, and I'll have like some member only like communication and live streams and chats and things. And also big shout outs to Mike Sachs for the super chat. This is always really cool seeing him bring the fire and stuff like that. So it's so fun. I love doing this stuff. I love finding these types of gems for not only myself, but to share with the rest of the world. And I'm honored to have you on, Mattia. And any last words for you to say?
No, like just honestly, thank you so much. It was super fun. Like really, thank you for inviting me, and but also just like for like doing what you do, like to just like go around on Twitter and like see like tools that like you're excited about and like just like add, share about it, like add them, like get more eyes on it and like just show what's going on at the moment. And like yeah, I just really appreciate it and thank you for doing this. Yeah, happy to do some other nice live stream soon. And yeah, I think that's it. Like one thing, like I think someone mentioned it before, you were asking if we have an affiliate program. Actually we do. So for anyone interested, just like hit me up on Twitter, like this is my profile, and I can, if anyone is interested, I can set you up with that.
Cool. Maybe zoom in on your handle there a little more so we can see it. For those who are watching on YouTube, you'll get the nice 4K experience. But for the other platforms, you see at MattiaPomeli, Mattia. Mattia. Actually, can you pronounce your name for us so that we can learn how people like is it Italy? Is that where it's based, your name from and everything?
I'm from Italy. Yeah, Mattia.
Mattia.
Actually, the one, yeah, it's actually, yeah, it's good, very good. Like,
I've been trying so much like before the stream to like practice and say the name Mattia, because I get to say it specifically like with the accent emphasis on the T. It's like Mattia.
Yeah,
it's kind of I don't get the speed yet, but I'm still trying to do it. And I feel like we had a little spiritual talk a little earlier. For me, it's like I kind of get into dad mode. Yeah, because I want to encourage.
Most people just like say, okay, I just say it however I can,
Yeah. I feel it's important. I'm a worldly person. I love to travel. Italy, beautiful country. And so it's nice to meet people from there, but also like just worldwide, to respect people's names. I think it's really important. We're in a new era. I feel like, especially as we're entering the age of AI, the world is much, much smaller now. It feels like we're getting on the teleport machine, which is just literally just an airplane. You wake up and you're in a whole different environment. And so with that, carrying that forward on my streams as well as people come on, and I try to, respect their names and everything. So definitely appreciate everyone for tuning in. Huge shout outs to all my new members and stuff like that. Awesome. Thank you so much. Go play with the tools, and we'll see you guys online on X. We'll see you on YouTube, Twitch, and all that stuff. Make sure you share this with a friend, and we'll see you next time. Check it out, y'all. Peace.
Bye, everyone.